Okay, so let's start the new Looking Ahead talk. Today's our guest will be Charles from Lagos in Nigeria. He's the Executive Secretary of Institute for Work and Family Integration, and he will tell us briefly how to advocate the family values and how to establish good family relations based on his country and his experience. So let's go and hear how he managed to achieve that, and then we will have some questions to our guest.
All right, thank you.
Thank
you, Mateus. Will I be able to share my screen?
Yes, of course.
Not yet.
I believe now you can.
Okay, yeah. All right, just a minute. Okay, so greetings from Africa. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining the session from. I am Charles Aigbona, the Executive Secretary for the Institute for Work and Family Integration. Today, I shall share with you a bit of my journey, and after which I will tell you what we do at the Institute. And hopefully I would end with some key success values, after which I hope to learn from your comments, your thoughts, your questions, and what have you. All right, so I am a pharmacist, studied pharmacy at the University of Benin, somewhere in Nigeria, somewhere in Africa. I was involved in community practice, owned my pharmacy, and did quite some consultancy services for several NGOs. And just to mention that during this period, I was volunteering in different associations, planning conferences, served as MCs, as TV moderator, which actually led to my being a TV presenter for some years and being a professional MC. I specialized data in pharmacology and toxicology. Then I took a break from pharmacy and I joined the family space. The family space is actually quite exciting because everyone you talk to about the work and family issues, they kind of understand and connect with you, unlike in pharmacology that required a selective audience. Then I joined the Institute for Work and Family Integration. Now, just to mention that quite a number of the volunteering activities I engaged with while in pharmacy practice came in quite handy at the Institute for Work and Family Integration. I joined the Institute as the conference manager. Even then, I took other assignments, facilitating sessions, collecting data, and all that. It led to my being from one appointment to the other, from being research administrator, head of advocacy. Then I went ahead to do my master's in business administration at Lagos Business School. At the end of my program, I was appointed as the executive secretary of the Institute. So what do we do at the Institute? The Institute for Work and Family Integration is a non-governmental, not-for-profit organization. Through its research, training, and advocacy activities, IWFI aims at providing solutions to work and family conflicts arising from social demographic shifts with a view to creating better families, better businesses, and better society. So how do we do this at the Institute for Work and Family Integration? We begin with research. We conduct research into work-family issues so that our propositions are not based on innuendos or on anecdotes, but rather on facts. From these facts, we provide solutions, preferred solutions, and interventions. We then create programs from these facts as interventions that will help resolve the solutions or resolve the issues or the challenges we found from our research studies. So that's how we go about doing what we do at the Institute. So now let's look at some of these interventions which have been designed as programs or advocacy outreach. The first I would like to begin with is the Executive Teachers Program in Integral Student Education. From our research work, we found out that about 73% are dual income earning couples in a section of Lagos. And as such, the parents, these spouses, have delegated their parental responsibility to people who are either not trained for it or are not interested in it. So with this program, we try to, we foster parental involvement in the education of children, helping, making parents realize that the first educator of their children. And also, we have also created spread this message by organizing some advocacy sessions on the family and the SDGs, where we collaborated with IFFD and the United Nations, and we got the different policymakers in the state and in the country to come together. Let's see how parents can be more involved in the education of their children. Then we have the work-family integration programs. I've been invited for, I've had speaking slots, invited to speak in different parts of the country on work and family issues, speaking to them about the different challenges that will arise from work and family conflicts, and how the family should not suffer because of work, and how the work can be impacted by the family. So from these advocacy sessions, we developed workshop training that we give to product, and we offer to companies, and where we train them on the knowledge and skill to enhance productivity at work, as well as to, while they're having successful careers, they will also be able to achieve a fulfilled family life, thereby integrating both domains, their work domain and the family domain. We also monitor and evaluate the behavioral changes from those that have participated in these particular trainings and workshop. Now, no matter how hard you try to integrate your family with your work, you would not be able to succeed much if your current organization does not provide that enabling environment. And what I mean by enabling environment is actually if they don't have family responsible policies in that organizations. Therefore, the Institute has taken it upon itself to explain to organizations the productivity benefits of family responsible policies. We have also gotten companies that have good family responsible policies to share with the others what productivity benefits they are having from these policies, one, and also how these could also affect the bottom line. This strategy was adopted because in the corporate world, and speaking with CEOs and HRO directors, you need to speak with them in a language you understand. And what you understand is employee satisfaction, employee engagement, employee journey, bottom line. So from our research, we'll be able to link how having these policies will affect and impact these things they're interested in, and as such, have high impact they are facing. We've also gone ahead we conducted an annual study, corporate family responsible index. And if these were able to rank different companies in Lagos based on their family responsible policies. And we give awards, as it were, to the top ranking ones, so as to foster these family responsible policies in organizations. I would proceed to one of the last programs on my list, although the programs keep on increasing as we do research, we find out more challenges, we design programs, we design interventions and all that. So the last I will talk about today before I hear from you is the married couples relationship program. And the couples, the spouses are actually principal players in family space. And we at the Institute, we believe that the principles that apply for business apply in marriage. So people put a lot of effort to ensure that their business succeed by going to trainings, by having strategic plans, by carrying the stakeholders and the partners along, by doing all this. However, in marriage, people just hope that the things will work out just by itself. And in family, they hope that the things will just turn out well. The kids will be well brought up and everything will move smoothly. We say that is not going to happen. That we have to be deliberate about success in the family. We have to be deliberate about success in marriage. And as such, we help them to see how they can apply the principles that helps us to be successful in business, how you can help them to be successful in marriage. So we engage in things like, so this program actually is like a weekend retreat for couples. So we teach them communication skills. They do quite a number of exercises. They carry a dialogue. We help them to align, the two spouses to align their goals and their value, them to develop a strategic plan for happiness in their marriage. Just when you have 5-year strategic plan in businesses. To conclude, well, I would say that 2 key success values I have I see, I would like to highlight is first, a spirit of service, to imbibe the spirit of service in everything you do in your career, because that's what led to volunteering services, and then also to the skills that help me in other things, in the things I do. And then finally is that we should seek to add value, always seeking to add value. And then to end, to say, building relationships and be keen to take on extra assignments in the tasks you're engaged in. So I will end here. So I would like to hear from you, your thoughts, your questions, and then I will continue the discussion. Thank you, Mateus.
Okay, thanks really much. Do you have any questions, please? Oh, here is one. Can you give us a panoramic view of Nigeria, population and social situation and situation of the family?
Okay, very well. So Nigeria is a country in Africa, and we are made up of, we still maintain the traditional family of a man and woman being a husband and wife, and then, okay, so I think it's good to establish that. In Nigeria, we still believe in large families, although we're also getting influence from the Western culture of having trying to reduce the number of family. In Nigeria, the family structure is kind of patriarchal. By this, I mean the man is still largely the breadwinner, is responsible for the family, is in charge, is the mayor, of the family, that kind of thing. So Nigeria has a population of 201 million, at least as at our 2019 census recording. So that is what you have in a family. Now, although we say Nigeria is one country, but we're made up of different ethnic groups, and one is clearly different from the other. You know, in the northern part of the country, they are mainly predominant religion there is Muslim, So you could have like a man, polygamy, a man can marry several wives. Okay, you move to the south where is the majority is population is majority Christians, and as such is really something like one man, one wife. So this is the kind of thing you have. Yeah, I don't know if that situates where we are, although I can continue talking about Nigeria. I love my country.
Well, I believe you have in Nigeria one of the biggest fertility rates in the whole world. And what is causing that? I mean, you mentioned that you have big families, but why? Is it the culture thing, or why you are tending to have so many kids in
okay, I will
one
take
family?
you back to history to say that one is we started off with farming, agriculture, and for agriculture it's not industrial agriculture, but rather you have subsistence agriculture. So with this, you have a man having to till the soil. So the more the children, the number of wives he has, the more children he can produce, and as such, the more hands he has in the family. That is one. Second is, okay, I agree. We're gradually moving from we have moved from that angle. But secondly, we have in some countries, in some ethnic groups, that the children are a blessing from God. So you don't want to reduce the blessing from God. And in fact, at times we say there's an ethnic group that says you don't count the children because you don't count God's blessing. Thirdly, I would say for insurance, because there's a lot to desire in our social security system. So for your old age, the more the number of children you have, the greater your chances of having some that are successful, and the greater chance of you having those that are successful, the greater the chances you have some taking care of you when you are old. So you don't want to reduce your chances of being taken care of when you are old. So that is really one thing why I have this. I'm not going to get into the contraceptive mentality that, okay, is creeping in gradually, and how the demographic shift in the workplace, which is our main focus, how is actually gradually affecting this in Nigeria, especially in cities like Lagos, with and dual earning income couples, and as such, people want to reduce their expenditure. Children are then seen as expenses rather than before, where they are seen as assets. Okay, Mateus.
Thanks. We have another question. Which of the many projects you do particularly care about, and why? Which is your the most important for you?
Wow, I would say the married couples relationship program to me has the immediate effect, immediate impact, because we start the program on a Saturday and we end on Sunday. And on Sunday, you already have the couples crying, crying because they really have drifted apart. They see that all the issues they are having were really from little things, from communication, little things like not knowing themselves, because we help them to discover the love they had at first that led them to get married at first. So that for me shows an immediate impact, because I enjoy the emotional thing at the last end of the program of couples crying. However, maybe the other program which is dear to my heart is the work family conference. Maybe because I started with that, and I saw that is simply because I get to talk with the corporates, and then I think that I'll be able to affect policies that will affect much more people that will join the workforce in the future.
Okay, you've talked about impact. So what do you think has the main impact on society what actions like conferences, workshops, as you mentioned, article you are producing? What is the most powerful tool for you actually?
Okay. Now, we work from this angle, and I will explain. The society is made up of families. The family is the unit of society. So when we are working on the family, we see it translating to the society. From what angle? Apart from this being unit of society, family being unit of society, is also that they are producing children from these families that are being fed into the society. So if we are avoiding, if our programs is having impact on the family, and as such parents are involved in the moral upbringing of their children, then we are having less delinquency, less children delinquency. We're having less children going to drugs and crime. We're having lower crime rates in society. Then also, if we are changing the family one individual at a time, in terms of one family at a time, one person at a time, one spouse at a time, then we're talking about healthy marriages. So when you have healthy marriages, you will have decrease in domestic violence. And also, you read in the news of spouses murdering themselves. So it behooves me to mention that how come from they must have been in love to have married to start with, and then they have grown over the years, and this love has waned to hatred, so much so that to the hatred that to wishing the other one dead, that leading to these murders. And as such, when these are programs, the married couple relationship program serves to prevent these murders in society. I can go on and on, but maybe I'll stop here so I can take more questions, Matthias.
Okay, so I believe we have time for two more questions. There is a question about the age, actually. Is that true? Generally in Nigeria, people tend to have kids at a younger age compared to Europe. How such young adults become independent and responsible for their families still being so young?
You know, when you say Nigeria, okay, I don't know if you think of it as one small city or one street. But just to say that, fine, in the north, the children have, people have children at a younger age. This is because of the system. There's low emphasis on education, and as such, the children after a particular age, the girls are married off at tender age of 16, 17. Now, I also mentioned about the patriarchal structure of the society, in the sense that the man is then responsible, the man who now has a couple of wives and these children is responsible for their upkeep. Unfortunately, perhaps maybe because of the poverty level, is not able to maybe cater for them. So they think these children have been born by these less young adults. So you could say the thing could spiral down like that. But however, just to say that in other parts of the country, in the South, this is not the case. In fact, what you have is people don't get married on time because they want security, a sense of security. So they want to have a house, they want to have a steady job, they want to have certain level of comfort. And in fact, they would even seek one of the qualities in trending, perhaps in the South is the choice of a life partner is that she should be employable, or she should be of some economic status as well, because you want both of you to be able to join forces and of income to bring up the children. So there's even in the South a delayed age of marriage and even delayed age of having children. So these are what we have in these two different sectors.
Okay, so I believe we have to end soon. So I have just one more question. What is your tip for example, Europe society to empower the family impact, to strengthen the family bonds, to actually slightly raise in some country the fertility rate, which is dropping low pretty quickly?
Yes, now I think there have been quite a number of initiatives in increasing fertility rates, from government giving giving incentives for people to have more children. That's one aspect, and the second is for parents who have many children, giving them certain incentives of tickets, certain incentives they would also have since they have many more children. So the burden is not much on them. So that is one. Second is for the family in Europe, one thing I see here in Nigeria is that we have the extended family support. So it serves a lot. It serves a lot of good here. First is in nursing nursing children. You call your mother, who is their grandmother, and this serves as a family support. So this extended family support of uncles, of extended family, so let me end it that way, serves to really help to strengthen the family. And also because of this extended family support, it leads couples to be together for longer and lead them to see that, okay, there's no going back in this, and as such, let's stay together because we have we have so many people in the family looking at us that will not support our separation. So these are two tips I think can help you in Europe. Things you can learn from Africa.
Okay, so maybe right now we can turn our cameras on to wave to our guest. I remind us our guest was Charles from the Executive Secretary of the Institute for Work and Family. So we can all say thanks for the meeting.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, IFFD.
Thanks very much and goodbye.
I like the questions. I learned a lot.
Okay, so thanks really much for your experience and see you in the next Looking Ahead.